pastor of a church in northern New Jersey. And today I'm sitting with Isa Bajalia, who is the founder and the director of Harvest Rescue, a cutting-edge ministry that is preaching the gospel where many people won't go. And this ministry is going into countries and into areas in some of the most controversial and high-risk environments that the people of these nations and people groups may hear the love and the truth found in Jesus Christ. So Isa, it's so wonderful to be with you today.
It's an honor for me to be here, Pastor Steve.
Isa has been traveling in the Middle East and ministering there for 18 years, and he's recently spent a few months living among the people in Egypt and really getting an incredible sense of the volatility, of the persecution, and also of the wonderful things God is doing in the nation. What has the political unrest done for Christians living there now that we've recently heard about? Maybe you can share your perspective about what you've seen, what you've heard, and what's happening in Egypt right now, and what that's done for the Christian environment.
Yes, there has been over at least once every 3 weeks, maybe once a month, a church being attacked by the Muslim element and the Muslim radicals. What you don't hear on the media is the more individualized attacks like prodding and provoking Christians just because they're a minority in their homes, and businesses that are being attacked because they're Christian business owners. That's not being portrayed on the media. What you're seeing is the isolated incidents on churches, although it's frequent over the last year. It is not the only persecution that's being conducted by the element of fundamentalism.
Isa, maybe you can describe a little bit about what the Egyptian Christian believers are doing to cope in that kind of environment. You know, do we see a different level of prayer? Do we see a different level of devotion? Maybe you can give a description.
There is a different level of prayer, and there's a different level of unity among the believers in Egypt. There's not the differentiation by denominational borders. There's either Christian or non-Christian. And what's happening now is there's more meetings and more prayer and more worship going on. The believers are getting together and actually lifting their hands to the Lord and praising Him in spite of the obstacles they're facing by the fundamental Islamists.
Your overall assessment, if we had to ask you, is Christianity on the rise or is Christianity on the downturn in terms of the movement here? With what you're seeing God doing, even in the midst of the persecution, would you say that the Christian future right now is on the rise and growing?
The Christian future is on the rise and growing, but also growing is the asylum and immigration. Because there are many Christians, although they are strong in faith, and maybe they're not so strong in faith, but they have committed their lives to Christ. They don't want to rear their children in such a hostile environment.
Right, yes.
And so I know that over the past several months there's been well over 100,000 immigrations to Western countries by the Christian community.
Isa, this is an important thing. We want to learn how we can contribute in some way, or how we can help with the efforts, both on behalf of Harvest Rescue and then just on behalf of our brothers and sisters in Egypt. How can we support them? What can we do as believers in America?
I think, number one, it's important to have brothers and sisters from the West who are praying for their brothers and sisters in the East.
Okay.
Egypt has a mandate. It is a part of God's mandate and God's future. And we believe that God has His calling in His hands on Egypt. And we believe, according to Isaiah 19, that the Egyptians will know God. And so pray. That's mandate number one, is I think that we have an obligation to pray for the believers in Egypt.
Okay. That the mandate of Christ upon the Church of Jesus Christ was not just for one region, not just one country, not just for one people group, but we all have a responsibility to be able to contribute to the worldwide expansion of the gospel. And this is why I want to encourage each and every pastor to visit the website at www.harvestrescue.com. Because maybe you've got people in your congregation, intercessory prayer warriors. Maybe you've got people with finances whom the Lord will put Egypt on their heart. But we've got to at least first raise the awareness, and then you've got to become accustomed to what's happening there so you may know as a leader how your local church can contribute to the global effort that's happening in Egypt. We may not all be able to leave U.S. soil and go to foreign soil in Egypt and work there, but we can certainly do our part here in America to pray and to sow financial resources into the expansion of the gospel in this area of the world. Yes. And so I ask you from my heart and from the Word of God that we would be concerned about our brethren all over. And so please visit the website at www.harvestrescue.com. Isa, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We'll talk with you soon. We look forward to giving you updates to the work and the expansion of the gospel in Egypt. God bless you.
حط الحق في قلبي وقال دوق أنا مش هشرح لك دوق روح الحق من فوق طوق روح الحب وشوق